We'll get real thoughts. And our battery only has like 24 minutes, so we gotta make this kind of fast, which for us is short.
Don't blame me. Blame him.
Yeah, totally my fault. Well, it said it had like 40 minutes ago, and and now it's like 24. It's like, but nothing changed. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about what is currently our most watched video by hits in terms of YouTube, but...
And what is that, Brian?
It's gonna get passed soon by it, but it's still the most watched. Talk about Sharkboy and Lavagirl. As well as, like, just Robert Rodriguez films kind of in general.
Pinky, how about we give that a miss?
No, I think we can talk about it, because I love Robert Rodriguez. Like, I really dig the fact this is like a filmmaker's filmmaker. He just sort of does everything by himself. We make fun of it in the review. And like...
Oh yeah, no, I have no problem with Robert Rodriguez.
Like, he does
a lot of shit, but I mean, he's done a lot of good stuff too.
Yeah, it's like a fair make, but even like, it's one of those things where it's like, even when he makes shit, it's like, yeah, but you did like everything. How you even got this shit is amazing.
Okay, like...
You confuse it with Spy Kids 3D, right?
Yeah. We're not talking... Sharkboy and Lavagirl is like, I'm not making this up. Like, here's the problem. You do so many films. We've been doing this, 10 years now, nearly? Mm. I forget some of the ones we've reviewed. Like, and that's a film that just, went in one ear and out the other.
See, I still remember it because this is the one that, like, one of his kids... quote-unquote wrote. I'm sure like he went off of his stories or something like that, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's so cute and that's so loving, but damn it, that's a dumb movie.
Based on the dream. Does this have a tornado in it? And
yeah, and,
okay,
and a boy made of sharks and a girl made of lava.
I'm literally having like acid flashbacks, like just flashes, like.
And the evil kid, remember, with the cape? It's like, who dare come here? Was it Linus and Minus?
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Like, who is just hands down the best part of the movie.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
So good luck.
That's kind of all you need.
I'm not sure what the hell to talk about.
But you also remember the effects that are, very... 90s commercial-esque, like, it's just obviously, sort of this very basic 3D
Didn't he do it in his
CG.
garage or something?
Yeah, like, I mean, so that's the thing.
I don't know what you would expect.
It's one of those things where it's like, on the one hand, you gotta kind of admire this guy just doing everything. He just pretty much gives a gift to his kid, and turns his stories into a movie and sees if he can kind of make money on it too, which apparently it did.
But see, I'm sure it made money, but there's a reason, like, you don't just be like, hey, I'm gonna do this movie that my kid coughed up in a bad dream one night. Like, if you listen to most, like, kids are really imaginative and cool, and, like, we celebrate the imagination of children, but a lot of it is just batshit. Like, I'm sorry, like, sometimes, like, I'll listen to my niece talk, and, like, she'll have cool ideas and fun stories, and other times you're just listening, and you're just like, wow, that's just insane. Yeah. Like, it's not, like, and that's cool. That's what kids are about. It's just crazy, but I wouldn't make a movie out of it.
It's kind of finding that balance between, like, just pure imagination, do whatever you want, and kind of the discipline to give it structure and have
that's
it
the thing.
mean
The
something.
kids are the id, and you need, like, the logos and the pathos to kind of,
yeah, you need something to reel it in and stuff, yeah. What I remember about this movie, I remember the kid from Twilight is in it, and he's legit actually kind of good. And then the kid that played Linus I thought was legit really fun.
Twilight was in
it? Jacob. He's Sharkboy.
I don't remember any of this. Like, I've literally, like... No, I was sober when we did this. I was like, did we black it out? Was it just like Kangaroo Jack?
See, here's the other thing, too.
I remember, like, seeing it, but
I know you're talking about it blends in with his other kind of kid films, because they're all just super weird and imaginative.
I keep thinking of Spy Kids 3 is my problem. I'm, like, confusing it with that.
Well, okay, so you saw the first Spy Kids, right? I think I actually sat you down.
I think the first Spy Kids, for what it is actually a pretty good movie.
I think I actually sat you down. I'm like, look, you just kind of gotta watch this. Yeah. And you're like, Spy Kids? I'm like, trust me, it's not... It's got the weird spy shit, but it's like... It's not quite what you think.
Much like Kung Fu Panda, which I saw on your recommendation, and it's not as good as Kung Fu Panda, but I came out of Spy Kids, I was just like, you know what? That was cute. I mean, it
was really imaginative and weird and out there.
It's clearly aimed at kids, so it got a little bit more of a pass where I'm like, okay, this isn't a Pixar film where it's like, well, it's for the adults and the kids. It's like, no, you really were aiming this at kids, but it was like, I could see how a kid would love it.
But there's also legit intent, like in the beginning. Remember when we saw the beginning and we just said, this movie's amazing with the backstory and stuff? And then when the kids come in, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's this kind of film. Okay, but like the first couple minutes, we're like, this is so great. Yeah. And then like the weird stuff with Alan Cumming and everything, and there's some scenes we
Tony Shalhoub and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, and the weird thumb guys. and Alan Cumming, and you know what? I remember that film.
Yeah, like, and then
but I can't tell you what happened in Spy Kids 2. I kind of remember Spy Kids 3 because I'm confusing it with Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Well, and it seemed to go from, like, you know, because I don't even think he did kids' films before, and I think he kind of thought, well, I got a crazy-ass imagination, and so do my kids. You know, we can sort of have fun, combine these things, and made it real fast. It was like this huge hit. Like, you know, they made 2 sequels out of it. It was a huge hit.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe he thought, like, he found his calling, like, his second calling, like, kids' films, I can do this, and they're actually kind of easy and fun. I can work with kids, and this is really cool. And they didn't always turn out that great movies, but it still has a following.
Here's my problem with them. It just feels like something that Robert Rodriguez should have shown as, like, a home movie. Like a family, like, get the family together. It's like, hey, look at what the kids and I did. Like, that's what it needs to be. You don't need to go to a cinema and see that. And I kind of, like, Sharkboy and Lavagirl, I don't know, I just kind of felt like, if you're a parent, I hope you just drop your kids off to that one. Like, all right, I'll see you in an hour and a half. You know, I can't remember it.
Especially there's like one scene where they're trying to do like commentary on like the kid's connection to his parents, and like he sees them as these big monsters just wearing like cookie hats and stuff, and they get along. And it's like they don't even talk, they just get along. He's like, oh, that's nice. Is that what you wish your parents did? Yeah, and that's it. And I feel like, man, like just move over where the wild things are. That's the commentary on a kid's psyche and connecting to their parents and their world and everything. And I just feel, what a shame when, like, you see something like that, you see something that does do it so well, like where the wild things are, and then something like that where it's just clearly like, oh, that's like this. Well, of course it is. What else could it be?
This one didn't have Ricardo Montalban in a rocket-powered wheelchair, right?
Again, that's 3.
God damn it!
Or maybe that's 2.
God damn it! Wait, which had Sylvester Stallone in it?
3.
Okay. God damn it!
I had Linus, man. This had Linus.
For some reason, when you say Sharkboy Lavagirl, I keep going to Spy Kids 3.
They are eerily similar. It's like the same visual look and everything. I'll have you know, though, that, like, the kid who played Linus, he actually contacted me, and he said,
he did.
I love your review. Like, thank you for, you know, the compliments and stuff like that, even though I'm like, yeah, no, you were actually kind of the best part. You were so entertaining.
There's a lot of kid actors that, like, when they're hamming over the top, I'm just like, God, they so made this movie worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't always work. You always, you know, I'm not going to name names.
It kind of depends on the movie,
but
too.
Yeah, but it depends on the movie, the tone. But there's just some kid actors like that weird kid from that Care Bears sequel we reviewed with this really weird voice. Yeah. Like, I love that. Like, it's, I don't know. There's just something about it, and of course Lucas, who apparently couldn't keep his power glove to himself. I don't know. But, yeah, like that was another one where it's just like that kid was so over the top.
Yeah, I feel like if you put that performance like in a much more serious kids film, like it wouldn't work. But in Sharkboy and Lavagirl,
the greatest performance by a 10-year-old ever, I want to say, would be like Jack Black in Neverending Story 3.
I think he's a little older than 10, but yeah.
No, he was 10. He was 10.
But you know, totally. Stuff like that, that's kind of like a passionate, like, it's throwing it all into it. And it's weird, because like I said, with the exception of Sharkboy, the other kid actors, I can't explain. It was kind of like the Spy Kids films, too. They're just a little off.
I don't remember them.
Yeah, like, they're not awful or anything, but they're just
only remember
off,
those
and I can't
first 2 kids from Spy Kids.
And they always seem like...
I think they ditched the girl eventually in the third one?
No, the plot is to get her back.
Oh, to get her back. Okay, but they ditched her. Like, obviously, either she thought she was too good for these movies, or they didn't bring her back. But
you never know with this stuff. She could be like, I want to go.
It's a cameo. It's a cameo. So it's just like those are. I don't remember who replaced her.
I don't even know if anyone did. I think it was just the boy. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, again, because these are made so fast, you do kind of wonder if Rodriguez is like, okay, we have no child labor laws, we have no budget, no time. Great, let's just go on to the next one, stuff like that. And you kind of just gotta hope it'll come together in editing. And again, the first Spy Kids, I think it did. And then second ones were starting to fall apart. Third one is not good. And then we get Sharkboy and Lavagirl, just the epitome of craziness and insanity. But I don't know, there's even like, when they try to put like some of these rules in, or like they try to limit it a little bit, I'd actually like more if the imagination did just explode, instead of trying to have like, well, here's the story, here's the plot, here's the, like, if it was something like Spirited Away, where it's just like, nope, she's in a bathhouse, that's it. Everything else is just her experience in that weird-ass bathhouse and her trying to get out or something like that. It didn't seem like there...
She works as a slave until she dies.
But even that kind of had, you know, a few rules in terms of how the world worked, like with the bat tokens and like all the little gears and stuff like that. So
I'm not gonna lie, this is just gibberish to me because it's like I don't remember what the hell. Well, the rules. Did they have rules in Sharkboy and Lavagirl? I'm not joking. I don't remember a goddamn thing about this.
Well, fine. I'll remember it so you don't have to.
Go for it, dude. I feel terrible. Like, if you had told me ahead of time, I would have rewatched it. Maybe we need to stop doing that.
Okay, then next time I'll prepare you for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's... I don't know, but your thought in general, just Robert Rodriguez and stuff like that, the idea of sort of doing the kids' films, like...
It's a good idea. He just has to execute. And he did early on. I don't know if it was... You know what it is? I feel like they became more and more like garage projects. Mm-hmm. Like, the second he got out of the idea of, like, oh, I don't have to work with Hollywood. I can make my own things in my garage. They got worse and worse and worse. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I think you need to... I know you hate Hollywood. Like, we all hate Hollywood in the studios. And it's like... But I think they gave you the time, the money, the preparation to... cough something out with a little more effort than whatever Sharkboy and Lavagirl
was. Well, there's a balance to you need, you know, they say you can actually become more creative in your limitations. And when you have somebody saying, no, you can't do this, why? Because X, Y, Z,
well,
you know.
And you know damn well.
But sometimes that gets in the way
damn
too,
well
obviously.
The studio would have sent that script back like, we have concerns.
Yeah.
Notes. Things that would have gotten changed.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's like great stories that could be told in it. We hear how many times the studio destroys a movie as well, so somewhere there's a balance.
This was not one of them, though.
No, this was one that really needed to be reeled in, but at the same time, I mean, I guess like any entertainer, it's one of those things where you kind of go like, but, you know, he's making something he loves and his kids love and clearly has an audience, you know, so it's one of those things, but I think we kind of get into this stuff like, oh, why? Because you see there's legit talent with this dude, and he's made these really cool, different, stylistic movies.
Is that why there's such a huge, like, uproar? Like, we kept getting requests for this, and I just remember looking, I'm just like, Sharkboy and Lavagirl? I'm like, who cares?
I just assumed people grew up with it, and they didn't know what to think of it.
Yeah, because I just was just like, it's a movie that looks like it's aimed at 4-year-olds. Who gives a crap? Like, but apparently it's got this huge, like, no, you don't get it, man. The movie scarred me. I'm like, okay.
Well, it is so friggin' weird. Like, some of the stuff, some of the visuals are just so odd.
I mean, I guess I can't imagine being 7 and being dumped into that film.
You know what it is? It's weird, but it's kind of awkwardly weird.
We had weird films.
I think that's what kind of gets under people's skin sometimes, where it's like, something can be weird, like Return to Oz, but it's awesome, and it's amazing, and it's creepy.
Well, Return to Oz is a legit good movie.
Yeah, and it's good. Something like this, you know, it's weird, but it's also awkward, and it holds on shots and weird facial expressions for a long time, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm getting sucked into the weirdness. It's that you're being weirded out by the weirdness and not having fun with it as much. But there's also a lot of people that really, really got into it and really enjoyed it.
I don't think, trying to think back on the things I enjoyed as a kid, I don't think I would have liked it. If I were 7 years old, I'm like, I generally still liked movies with a kind of plot and a, like, you know, it's like the Chipmunk Adventure. There was still a plot. Like,
a legit risk to it.
So, I'm trying to think of all the weird things I saw as a kid. If I would have liked this, I'm like, I don't think so.
Even something like Alice in Wonderland, like, even though it's like, it's literally just her going through this place and discovering these weird things, there's still like kind of that threat. There's always something a little menacing about it. Even the background is always black. It's always dark.
There is a narrative. There is like a hook of, you know, I got lost in this place. I got to get out, chase the white rabbit. And then everything tries to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, it's I can't remember what the hell the plot to Sharkboy and Lavagirl was.
Yeah, like, just...
What was it?
Goes to a land... Linus. All I remember is Linus.
Were they trying to get somebody back? But see, that's Spy Kids 3, isn't it?
You just keep going back to Spy Kids 3. Well, have this be Sharkboy and Lavagirl / Spy Kids 3. But no, it's one of those things where it's like, on the one hand, I really want like someone like Rodriguez to keep exploring sort of these weird, crazy avenues without studio interference. But then on the other hand, it's like, I want him to make good stuff too. I want him to make something that'll expand the imagination for a lot of people. And sometimes expanding the imagination can come from limitations. And he has limitations in terms of like budget and stuff like that, obviously. But, you know, he's doing a lot of it himself.
Here's the problem. Maybe this is part of the problem. The ambition versus the budget on that. Because it's just from the get-go, it was so fake. And I'm like, then why don't you scale your damn movie back? If it's gonna look that bad, like...
Well, and even like these sort of...
And I get it, I'm doing it on a garage machine. Then don't do it, or come up with an excuse. Like, do something. Like, I just looked at it, it was just like, this just looks bad.
Here's the thing with, like, okay, Sin City, low-budget movie, clearly. But the style is so distinct and so... interesting. It's just you don't see that on the big
with
screen.
That style.
Where it really works. Where
There's
something
no
like
style to Sharkboy.
No, that's I mean, it's bright, it's colorful, it's like a '90s commercial, but it's one of those things where it's like for that to really feel like whimsical and grand and big and cool, you need something that looks more like it's really there. I think it can still be bright and colorful, but clearly those backgrounds aren't there. Clearly,
this is a bland '90s commercial. Like it's just, I don't know. There's just something bland about it. Like I don't know. Nothing sticks out.
You know, there was no discipline to obtain it.
Before you even knew what you had, you packaged it and patented it and then slapped it on plastic lunchboxes and now you're going to sell it. You're selling it. Well, you're selling it. It's Sharkboy and Lavagirl and there it is.
But there is some truth to that where it's like when you do have total creative freedom, you know, again, kind of like with Phantom Menace or something like that, you know, it's like you do kind of need a few people to come in and say, no, this
I never thought I'd say this, but I'd rather sit through Phantom Menace.
Oh, that's tough. Sharkboy and Lavagirl, I think, is shorter.
You know what?
Now, I'll say Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
I'll say Phantom Menace because the technicals on it I can at least get through, and for me it's still not the worst of the prequels. That's Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, that's true.
The Phantom Menace I can get through.
There's a cool sword fight.
There's some cool sword fights. Like I love the technicals. I do love the look of that movie. There is actually more practical effects in it than people give it credit for. It got more CGI.
It has more practical effects than Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Yeah, well, but no,
it doesn't have Linus. It doesn't have Linus.
That's true. It doesn't have Linus.
That is always
just
like
Jar Jar, and that is a major trade down.
Yeah, this has Linus.
And it has Jake Lloyd, also trade down.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. I think the technicals of that, like, but that's a case where it's just like, well, they had the budget, and the budget made up for the fact that everything else sucked. Doesn't make Phantom Menace a good movie. I'm just saying, I remember Phantom Menace. Like, I don't remember Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
But again, even though that's like a lot of that is CG, they're still trying to make it look like it's really there. You know, for the most part, that little cracker thing at the race wave, that was weird. But like, you know, the cities and everything, the underwater worlds, they're trying to really make it look like you're really there. And it looks more impressive like that, and you get more of a sense of wonder because you feel like you're closer to really being there. Where with this, you know, the volcanoes and the cookie lands and stuff like that, I mean, none of it looks solid.
It's Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the... That's what the Star Wars movies did. They started off... There was a lot more on-location shooting than people realize in Phantom Menace. Like, there's more practical effects. They took out the puppet Yoda. But, I mean, there's more practical effects in that original cut of Phantom Menace than people really realize. But then when you get into Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, it starts looking... more and more CGI, more and more big, and literally it's just like, well, we're just only on a green screen.
So it's weird because it's like
which is what Spy Kids series did. Like I felt like that's his trajectory as well. It started off with the effort of doing practical effects and shooting on location, then it feels less and less real.
Well, mixed with CG as well. There's definitely a lot of CG.
You need something. You need one shred of reality.
You need like an anchor
to tie it together. Like even for kids, like kids still need that. Like something that makes you feel like it's real. And nothing in Sharkboy and Lavagirl felt real. Or in Spy Kids 3. It's like the first one still, I'm like, they felt kind of like real locations. There was a lot of special effects, but I don't know. I could see kids getting more wrapped up in that. And from apparently what everybody's saying, kids were wrapped up in Spy Kids. And that's why they hate Spy Kids 3 and Sharkboy and Lavagirl, because they grew up and were just like, this is garbage! So.
No, but I can't gauge it. I can't gauge what people... I think they see Sharkboy and Lavagirl kind of like Saved by the Bell, where they liked it when they were younger, and then when they get older, they're like, okay, this is stupid, but I still kind of love it.
Maybe.
Come on, it's fun.
I don't know. Tell us in the comments. The people that talk...
Yeah, I'm actually a little curious,
commented to me... over the years, we're all just like, I like the first movie, and then it just got awful and weird, and I hate it, and then Sharkboy and Lavagirl sucks. Like, if the idea was they liked Spy Kids, and then this was garbage. So I don't know. I don't know if I got a lot of comments from people like, I used to love this movie. Now I realize it's trash. There were a couple, but
I think the people I recommended it said the same thing. Like, you gotta do Sharkboy and Lavagirl because I love Spy Kids, and then they just got
that's all the comments I got.
But then the comments I saw, like when I posted it, were saying like, man, I used to really like this, and now I don't really that much. And then like, no, you know what? This is still cool. Come on, leave it alone. So I'm a little curious too. Yeah, let us know what you think about it. Now, I'm curious if this is still like.
I mean, if you liked it, fine. I mean, its target audience, I think, is 5-year-olds.
Yeah, and there's no bad lessons or anything like that.
And I'm not even hyperbolizing, like, oh, because it's so stupid. I mean, I literally think he made it for like 5 to 7 age.
If anything, when he tries to grow it up with like the parents possibly going through a divorce and stuff like that, that's where it gets really dumb. It's like, no, just
gets awkward because why in Sharkboy and Lavagirl?
Yeah,
this isn't like fucking E.T., man. Like,
yeah, just leave it simple. If you're gonna make a dumb movie, just make a dumb movie. Don't try and make it smart, like just with little drops that don't add up. But yeah, let us know if you what you think of the movie now, because I'm a little curious about that too. I'm curious what the reaction is. Are
there people who like it unironically?
Yeah, that's sort of the question. Do people like it unironically? I'd be curious about that. Because it is
don't tell us, actually. That might put you on a watch list. I don't know.
It is very colorful and, kind of imaginative, but it's like, yeah, I'd be curious if someone actually
if you said, oh, I like it ironically, it's so bad, it's kind of like, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but unironically,
yeah. I don't know.
I was like, I tried to be like, oh, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I'm just like, but
yeah, like there's no bad lessons in it or anything.
No, I mean there are worse. There's movies with worse lessons for kids. But
yeah, so
no, it's mostly. I guess that's why I didn't want to even review it because I'm just like, well, it's mostly harmless. It's made for 5-year-olds. So
yeah, you can't really get that angry.
Yeah, nobody who cares.
Yeah.
The movie's called Sharkboy and Lavagirl. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, so that's about it. Still love Rodriguez. I'm excited for Battle Angel. I think I'm like the only one. Everyone else is like, oh, the eyes, and I don't want that. But I'm like, I think it looks cool.
I like Robert Rodriguez. I have concerns.
I'm all that it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be.
It's
good.
the only anime that managed, one of the few anime that's managed to escape not getting destroyed by the American.
But there's anyone to do it, man. Rodriguez, I'm telling you, I'm excited.
I fingers crossed. I don't want to I hope it's good because I don't want to go in and hate it. So, but the trailer made me nervous. So I'm hoping it's maybe it's a crappy trailer. Maybe.
So, but I also like Sin City 2 and nobody else did, so.
That's true. You are the only one.
I don't get it. I love it. I just love it. I'll probably watch it again this weekend or so. I don't know. But, yeah, so there it is. Sharkboy and Lavagirl. Let us know if you still like it, what your thoughts are, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Please do not include a plot summary. I'm not going to read it.
I will. That's such a lie.